guys, welcome back again. This is again the Blind Curated. So we will do interval problems today. Okay, so let's do the merge interval. Okay, so here given a collection of intervals, merge all overlapping intervals. So what it is so we are given 1 3 2 6 8 10 and 15 and 18, right? So if you see this, 1 is here, 3 is here, 2 is here, 6 is here somewhere, 8 goes out of this, 8 10 and then there is 15 till 18, like this. So whenever we merge these two, so it is going to be 1, and then since 2 is merged, we'll have 6, right? So basically if we sort this by this last element and the first element, so basically you are going to find that okay, everywhere we're gonna add the start and the end and then sort it, and based on that we calculate. But how I do it is I put all these in a new class, like class event, where we'll do int, okay, the number, we'll sort it by number, whatever is smallest, and then we'll do int type, whether it is a start or the end. So basically what I'm saying here is, okay, 1s should appear first, then second will start, then 3 will end, then 6 will end. Only then these two are overlapped, because if this starts and in between if 2 is already started, that means these two are merged, right? So these two are merged. That's why I put 2 here. Now since 2 starts came through, so 2 must end to finish this one whole merge place, and whatever is it will come at last, right? So that's why I have this. Let's just create a constructor, event of int num and int type. Let's just make it character, whether I start or end, right? So this will be a character, then this dot num equals to num and this dot type equals to type, right? So what we'll do now is, for every integer array interval in intervals, yeah, so let's sort all these numbers. So for that, let's create a priority queue. Priority queue of, this is of type events, not events but just event a comma b, and what this will return is, if a dot num, let's say if a dot num and b dot num is equal, right? If 2 starts at the same place, if a dot num equals to b dot num, let's say this one also started at the same place, then what we want to do is, if both start at the same place, we want to sort it by the end, right? So let's just say anyway, this is 1s, and yeah, so this can also be somewhere like 3, and this can also be 3. So since these two overlap, right, 3 and 3 overlaps, so how we want to do is, we want to put the end second, right? So that's why a dot b dot type minus a dot type, because e comes after s, I mean s comes after e. So this will be start and this will be start and this will be end. So we want to push this end backward, we want to put start first, so that's why b type, right? If both the numbers are equal, then we'll sort it like this, else we'll simply do a dot num minus b dot num. It doesn't matter the order after that. So so once this is done, what we'll do is, okay, for every interval of event, okay, let's put in priority queue dot add a new event which has a value. So at first we are passing the num, so our num is interval 0 at starts, and then the second one is the end. Second one is the end, right? Okay, so now this list is sorted like this. Then what we can do is, we want, so list of result, so list of int array result is equals to new array list. Then while this priority queue dot is not empty, so what we're going to do is, okay, event is equals to priority queue, so we'll pull the first value and we'll see, okay, so we'll see how many counts of ends are there, right? So int current start, let's make it just 0 for now. If current start is equals to s, if current start is s, also we need to put this in the list, right? So 2 can start, but we can only start this, so that means we need a count. And if current start is equals to 0, we can create a temp variable, int temp is equals to new int array of size 2. So temp 0 will be, how much will temp 0 be? Temp 0 will be just this event dot num, right? Similarly, if current start equals to event and current start is equals to so on the end we need to do the subtraction and it has to be 0 as well. So let's say once this is done, we'll simply start the count current plus plus, and if this is done, we'll do current minus minus. We need to check if this is a start, right? So okay, if current start is equals to s, then current start plus plus, and if current start is equals to end, then we'll do current start minus minus. In that case, so since this current start is already started, we'll make it 1 if it is 1, and on the next time, okay, 1 2, then 1 2, so on 3 it will finish, so current start will be 0 here. So if it's the end and current start is the end, then we'll simply make, okay, temp 1 equals to this if dot number again, right? So now once this is in the done, we can simply make, okay, result dot add this event temp, sorry, so we'll simply add this temp, and what we can do is so once this is added, we need a temp is equals to new int array of 2 again, because we need a new numbers to start. So if we do this, we can simply return this result to array with new int of size result dot size, right? Okay, it's empty. Why is it empty? Did it not enter the priority queue? So there is 1, our temp will be 1. If current start is 0, and if that is that, then that is that. And we simply add this result to temp, and then temp will become a new variable. So what is the problem here? Let's see. So we have if it so this started here, right? Did it never end? Oh, it never reached here. Oh, not current start, right? Oops, my bad. How do I? Oops, my bad. Sorry. So this should be event dot type, and this should be event dot type again. Yeah. Okay. Now it is 0. Interesting. We have the last numbers, but why is it 3? Oh, this is again. Okay, so now I think let's try this also. Cool. Okay, this is done. The next one is not a new tab. Okay. Okay. Given non-overlapping intervals, return a new interval and merge if necessary. Okay, so we need to insert this in between these two numbers. Okay, so how can that be done is, what we can do is, okay, again list of stuff similar to before, right? Let's just copy this. So list of int array. More than this, we can do while this interval. So let's say if we want to insert 2, right, and then if interval, let's make it int I equals 0. So if interval I, and I have a low battery, just a second, let me charge this. Okay, so while interval I1 is less than, I mean this needs to be less so that it can be added, and since everything is non-overlapping we don't need to merge them, right? So is this the new interval, sorry, new interval of I0, right? If this is smaller than these three, or I mean while this one is smaller, then we can simply put, okay, we can simply put this result dot add the same interval I plus plus, while I is less than this thing, while I is less than intervals dot length, and interval I1 is less than interval I0, then we'll simply add this result intervals I, and then we increase I and then to forward. So all these previous values are added. Now the condition arises when these two now match, right? So what we'll do is, okay, int again temp is equals to, sort temp is new int array of size 2, again similar to before, and what we'll do is, while again this I is less than intervals dot length, and what we'll do now is, so since we need to merge and this second value was somehow equal to or less than this, right? So now what we need is, while this, so if 2 comes here then 5 comes here, so okay, while this new interval, so we need to find the start and the end, right? So while this new interval new interval is just at 0, so while this new interval 0 is till when this value is smaller, right? There can be 4. If there was a 5, let's say if there was a 5, and if this was 8, yeah, so we need to go till so while this interval 1, this 5 is greater, right, is greater, so what happens is, let's see this, now we already put this there, we have this number and this is the end. So there are situations where we have like this or this or this, right? 3 cases in a given list. So we filtered out this, no need to worry about this, no need to worry about that. Let's just say this is here. So in this scenario what we can do is, if this new interval 0 is less than, if new interval 0 is less than the second interval end, or this ends, so interval, this new interval start is less than this new interval 1, we can go till there, right? So everywhere you see these are all less than or equal to. Even if these both are equal, I think this will be merged, so that means these should all be here. Okay, so now what we'll do is result dot add, so our int min equals to new interval 0, right? And int max is equals to new interval, or we can simply change the new interval. So what we'll do, let's just do this. New interval 0 is equals to math dot mean of so whatever is minimum. If this was way back till here, then minimum of new interval 0 or intervals I 0, right? Similarly, the next value, new interval 1, this 1 can be till here, right? So yeah, yep. So now what can be done is new interval 1 is the math dot max of new interval 1 or I1, and then we'll simply loop forward and I will increase again, right? Yeah, then while this interval I is while I is less than intervals dot length, then now we need to consider this remaining part, less than length. We'll simply add, okay, and once this is finished, we need to put it in result dot add new interval, and then while this is it, what we'll do, result dot add intervals I plus plus, right? And then we can simply return result dot to array int of result dot size, cannot find intervals 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 intervals. Why do I keep typing like this? Okay, we got 1 9. So let's see, we have the min and maximum of interval 1, which is 5, or interval I1, which is 5. And then while new interval I0 is less than, oh yeah, so here our mistake is, if you see, we included 6 in there. So so till when should we go is, so when should we merge this 5 in these two? So if new interval I not 0, but till when this first element, right, which is first element is greater than or equals to 0, this element's 0, right? Yeah, so I think that should be it. Let's try this. Okay, cool. This is also done. This is also done. This is premium. Hey guys, so this is the premium account, so we can do this meeting rooms, which was not in the other problem. So here, given an array of meetings intervals consisting of start and end times, determine if a person could attend meetings, right? So what is given here is we have 0 till 30, and then we have 5 till 10, and then again we have 15 till 20, right? So a person can attend a meeting or not is could attend all the meetings. So if there is no overlap, then they can meet, right? So that means there will be an overlap if 10 was here, so that we'll know, okay, and then 20 was here, right? So if it was like this, I mean, if we let's sort by this end values, so that we can see, okay, if there is an overlap or not. So here 0 and 30 overlaps with this 10, right? So let's just do that. So let's say our array arrays dot sort this intervals a b with uh, with a1 minus b1, right? So what we can do is, so okay, for every element, let's say int I equals to 0, and let's say we start at 1, and so from here we'll check if this 15 is less than end, and end equals to 0. So we check if 10 is in between this number or not, if this is in between this number or not, like that. So while our start is less than intervals dot length I plus plus, right? So what we can do is, if this intervals at start, let's say if this interval at start 0 is somehow less, which is here, right? And this comes here. So if this one is less, then since we are ordering by 10, if the value is smaller, it will of course go beyond, so we'll know it. If intervals s0 is less than our end value, which is intervals at end, it says 0 1. If somehow this value is smaller, then we can simply return false, right? If not, then what we'll do is, if this is not this, I mean this and this can be deleted, and we increase our start plus plus and end plus plus, or we can simply say, okay, yeah, both will increase, right, in that case. And if it reaches the end, then we can say, okay, return false. It might go, yeah, s is still less than this, so I think this is fine. This will be true, right? Let's see this. Yeah, we are right. Then here, true. Submit. Cool. This is done. The other one is meeting rooms 2. So yeah, meeting rooms 2. Okay. Given an array of meetings, time interval consisting of start and end time, find the minimum number of conference room required, right? Okay, so let's go here, let's pull this thing up, So what we'll do, how many intervals are merging, so that we will see what the how many meeting rooms are required. So basically, if there are some merges, then we know, okay, uh, that many meeting rooms will be required. So let's say, okay, let's just pull few of these things. I think we'll need this. This is very similar, that's why. So one pattern for all, right? Interval problems. So basically, yeah, we'll just keep all these numbers here and here. Yeah, we can of course go have different arrays and do it, but anything is fine. So let's just keep it here. We have the start and end. We have the, okay, so now something should change here and here, right? So we are returning the count. Okay, so now we added all the intervals and it is sorted. So basically what happens now is we'll have 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 0, 0 will come here, 0 and 30, right? So 0 as a start, 5 as a start, 10 as an end, 15 as start, 15 as start, 20 as end, and 30 as end. So what we can do now is, okay, so if it starts, so let's put our end count is equals to 0, then we can do while this priority queue is empty, right? Well, priority queue is not empty. So let's say we pop, so what will pop first is start, right? So if it is a start, so find the minimum number of conference required. Okay, so as soon as we have this minimum number of conference, we'll simply put the count. Okay, int result is equals to 0. So let's say int priority queue is equals to int event if is equals to priority queue dot poll. So we pull this, and if it's a start, we are basically increasing it, right? So if event dot type is equals to, if this is a start, if the event is starting, then what we can do is, okay, we can count, okay, there is one more room. And in the race, what we'll do is math.maximum of this count or race, because we'll decrease the count if the end comes in, right? So else count minus minus. So that means here our count increase. Okay, we need at least one room. We need 2 rooms because 2 of the conference overlap, and then here we need 1, and it started again. So here 2, ended 1, and it's 0. So at max we have this race, right, result. So return result. Yeah, we can simplify this like this, and 2 and 4, at least one start is there. So we'll simply put, okay, 1 start, 2 is start, so 2 starts, and then 4 end, it's 0, 7 start. So I think this will be fine. Did a lot last year. Okay, here something is failing. Okay, so that means okay, if both these numbers, okay, if both the numbers are same, we can simply do A and B here, and I think this should also be fine. Yeah, we want to put the start first and then the end, so it's accepted, right? Cool. so we know why this is it, right? So end comes first. We want to decrease the count and then start it again, a new room. So in 1313 case, the meeting started here and ended at 13. So this end should come first, and then it started again. So 1, right? The answer is, so that is it. Now we'll switch back to the other problems. So now the next is non-overlapping intervals. We did all these 4 and minimum number of arrows to burst balloons. We already have that in our this account. So those are not premium. These 2 problems doesn't require premium accounts. So we're good. Given a collection of intervals, find the minimum number of intervals you need to remove to make the rest of the intervals non-overlapping. So if you see here, what we have is we have 1 and 2, 2 and 3, similarly 3 and 4, and then 1 and 3. So again, this is somewhat similar to the same meeting room problem where we can sort this by the end, right? So let's say we'll just do, okay, arrays dot sort sort of intervals. So 2 values a and b with a a1 minus b of 1. So if we sort it like this, what we'll see is, and okay, let's look. So we need to exclude all these values that will be merged, right? So how many, find the number, minimum number you need to remove. That means how many merges are there. Basically, this is the same as meeting room, how we did. Instead there, we simply return true and false. Here we can do the count. So let's say we have, so once we sort all these numbers, what we can do is, okay, for every numbers for int start equals to 0 with end, so our end will be here. I mean, this one will be our end. Let's do our start as 1. So from here we'll start, because we want to check if these 2 numbers, the previous number and the next number, are overlapping or not. So for this will be our end, and this will be our start, right? So for start and end till, so start less than intervals dot length start plus plus, what we'll do is if this intervals at start 0, right, if this is less than the previous end, right, which is 2, that is intervals at end, which is 0, and at position 1. So if this 2 is less than 1, so that means these 2 can be merged, right? So these 2 can be merged to be 1 and 3. So that's why if they can be merged, then we need to remove this. So simply increase the count, right? And okay, yeah, if not, 1 2 and 1 3 was here after the sort. If not, since we are already increasing the s, that's fine. So else, if that is not the case, that means if these 2 are not a merge, these 2 won't be overlapping even if they are equal, start and end. We can simply say, okay, our end count is here and start will start from here. So that means, okay, end will be our current index, right? And I think we can simply return the count. Oh, yeah, we need a count. Int count equals to 0. So how many overlaps are there? We are simply counting it. End. What happened here? End. Oh, we don't have an index. Our index is start. Okay, 1 2. Let's put this number here. Cool. So this is done. Okay. So now let's do this minimum number of arrows to burst balloons. Okay. So what this one says is there are a number of spherical balloons spread in two-dimensional space. For each balloons provided, input is at the start and the end coordinates of the horizontal diameter. Since its horizontal y coordinates don't matter, and hence x coordinates of start and end of the diameter suffice, start is always smaller than end, and there will be at most 10 power 4 balloons. Okay, an arrow is shot up exactly vertically. Okay. Burst arrow, and there is no limit to the number of arrows that can be shot. Okay, an arrow shot one keeps the traveling up infinitely. The problem is to find the minimum number of arrows that can be shot to burst all balloons. Okay, so in this problem we have 10 till 16 in xy plane, then we have 2 till 8. If there is 2 and 8, then this should go here, right? And then if there is 1 till 6, then it should be something like this. Then there is a 7 that goes till 12. So what we want to do is we want to fire a shot which will burst these balloons. Like if we shoot it here, right? If we shoot here, then this one and this one will collapse. Similarly, if we shoot at 10 now, let's put the 7 and 12 at top, so that, okay, even if we shoot at 12, this will be gone, right? So what we'll do is basically let's sort it by this end column so that the end can burst all these values. So let's do this. So for array start sort these points where we have A and B by their last values B1. So we sorted this, it will be in this order. Then what we can do is how many shoots we need to make. Okay, int shoots is equals to 0, right? So now let's say, okay, for every interval, for int I equals to 0 till I less than points dot length I plus plus, we can simply return the shoots, return that many shoots that we need to do. Okay, so we are currently at 6, so int current end is equals to, let's just skip it, -1 for now, right? Or we can simply say, okay, points 0 0, and then we can basically start from first point, right? So from here, and let's say if the points at position I0, which is this position, if this is smaller than our current value, which is 6, right? That is our current end. Then if this is the current end, if this is smaller, that means since this is sorted by end, this will of course blow up, right? So we can simply say, okay, continue for all these values, and else if that is greater, then we should increase the count of suits. Then suited, I mean, if this is blown, 2 and 8 is gone, now 7 and 12 starts. Since 7 is greater than our current end, so we should increase the suit. We need one suit, actually two, so let's just say suit is 1. So at first suit we collapse this. Now at second, our current end will be points at I and 1, right? And then we increase the number of suits, because with this and this will also collapse. Let's see. 3. Why 3? Current point 0 and 1, right? Our current end is 1, so okay guys, I think we are done. Thanks. Oh no. Oh no, we are not done yet. So this thing, let's see this. So at 1 2 2 3 and 3 4, okay, that means if both of these start at the same place, right, then we want to blow it up also. Yeah, since 1 2 2 3 and 3 4 everyone overlaps, okay, there is a runtime error. Okay, so that means if points dot length equals to 0, then return 0. We test with this, then return 0. Alrighty. Okay, cool. Thanks guys. Good night.